Everyone, Steve here from Hammers Accords. How you doing? Hope everything's going well. Just talking to you a little bit about the Connecticut Brewcaster number 2. I started working on a Brewcaster number 1, which was this crazy ESP 256 EC guitar that somebody had tried to make into a truckster, you know, the James Hetfield model, and they had a terrible paint job and everything. So I've been working on that. It's still coming together. But while I was working on that, I got the opportunity to buy this Samick Bennett Avion Les Paul style guitar. And so I actually didn't know it was a flat top when I bought it. But when it came, I was excited because it actually solved a problem. So I'm working through a lot of these different builds and different ways to kind of cover the guitar and put a finish on it. And one of the issues is when I have to go around corners and stuff, the epoxy runs. And sometimes it's okay and you can make it work, and I'm doing that with the ESP. But when I did this guitar, I realized it was flat and I could tape everything off and it would adhere perfectly level, which is really what I want, right? So it actually worked out great. So it was an experiment, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. If all of them turn out this good, I'll be in business for sure. So this is a really basic, just did the top. It features Connecticut breweries. So I had reached out to a bunch of breweries and asked them to give me stickers because I wanted to kind of do some guitars and feature them. So a lot of them sent me stickers in the mail, and I applied them here. Excuse me. Then I did a 2-part epoxy coating on it. I also did the headstock. And this is actually, the headstock was funny. This is the first one I ever did. And I was working with some other polyurethane and a water-based polyurethane, and come to find out that the epoxy I was using, 2 things happened. It did not want to stick to the labels. So I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to use the epoxy because the labels are kind of like a vinyl. But it just happened to be like kind of a one-off situation. So that worked out okay. I experimented with putting like a water-based poly on it first. I also did a regular poly, but come to find out, the biggest issue was not really the stickers or the polyurethane or anything, but the fact that I was pulling the tape up too late in the process, and it was the 2-part epoxy was already kind of solidified. It had already cured, and when I pulled the tape, it kind of ripped it out. So now I've learned since then that you pull the tape after about 2 hours of curing, and then the epoxy sets just fine, and it's nice and very solid. So anyway, I had an issue with this. This was the one that I had an issue with initially, but now it's all set. So I did the headstock, and I did the truss rod cover, and obviously I did the top. I'll give you a quick overview. I'll go through some close-ups so you can get a good sense of what it looks like. And then I had a buddy stop by who wanted to jam out on it. So he just threw some stuff together, nothing prepared. He just kind of jammed. So you'll be able to hear it and kind of see how it plays. All right. All right, give you a couple close-ups of the guitar. You can see we've only done the top, and you can just take a look at that finish. Really looks like it came from the factory. Definitely messed up a bunch of things in order to get here, so it took a while to kind of figure out how to do it right. But this is just, great finish, very clear. I've done a couple guitars with 2 finishes. So I put the top one on, the base coat on, and then I put a separate one on. And that seems to help it as well, is really solidify it. In fact, I'll show you, here's the ESP I was talking about, and that's got 2 coats, and it's, I'm working through this one because it's all the way around, I had to go around it. It was really such a beat up guitar, I had to kind of cover the whole thing, but it's coming together, but it's taken a long time because the epoxy does not like to flow. It likes to just be on a level surface. Anyhow, so this guitar, really nice, very clean, well made. Definitely, if anyone's interested in a well-made guitar, check out the Greg Bennett guitars from Samick. They don't make them anymore, so you have to look for a used one. But just, you know, really kind of clean and nice lines, very basic guitar. You can hear my dog walking around and trying to lay down next to me. Sorry about that. And I'll just show you this for fun. This is my Rush guitar. I'll be doing a separate video on this one. But, oh, that's not the Rush guitar. Haha, this is the original. This is the original Brewcaster. This is about 15 years old. And this is actually finished in lacquer. That took forever. This is an old Washburn G10V. That was kind of the original. This was the old beer bottle collection that started this whole craziness. Actually, the Rush guitar is over here. So that's also a Greg Bennett. This is a Greg Bennett Ultramatic, which is like similar to a PRS, which is why I did the Rush guitar in it, because Alex Lifeson played a PRS for a number of years. And this is a really nice guitar as well. I mean, really well made for the money you spend on it. The Rush guitar I ended up upgrading, so I have Seymour Duncan's and Wilkinson Trem. But it's a great guitar, and it turned out really solid. But I'll do a separate video on that. All right, so we're gonna transition to Mike playing some tunes for us. Hope you like the video.